What's up, y'all? It's that Sports Kid back with the fourth regional of the College Football World Series. Today is the Seattle Regional. Well, it's not today. I've already posted a video today. If something has not gone wrong, the New Orleans Regional should have already been posted. Second regional of the day. Seattle Regional. 1 seed Washington, 4 seed Houston, 2 seed Fresno State, and 3 seed Kentucky. Fresno State Kentucky game should be really good, but before that, we have the Washington versus Houston game. Can I get my controller to work? Please, controller. There we go. I am using my backup USB, and it is not going great. Washington and H-Town Cougs. Houston is my second. Oh my gosh, no way. These teams have the same overall rating. Wow. Washington, what are you doing? Well, that's wild. What was I saying? The Houston Cougars are my second favorite team. Go Cougs. H-Town for life? Question mark. Nathaniel Dell, also known as Tank Dell, a great receiver. Houston Texans, draft pick. He's gonna be great. With my favorite NFL team, also number 1, more like number 32, but number 1 in my heart. This is actually maybe an important game. I didn't think that Houston had this high of an overall. Alaska Airlines Field. The Cougars take a 7-0 lead, a 14-0 lead. We are only in the second quarter. There is a Washington touchdown, but a Houston touchdown to respond to it. No points before halftime by either team. 21-10. Still 21-10. 21-18. They're holding on. 28-18. And UW goes down in game 1. Houston, what? Okay. H-Town showed up. Not in the stands. Not in the stands. On the field. Go Cougs. Washington is... This is the second regional in a row where the 1 seed has gone down in the first game. Next game, Fresno State versus Kentucky. Houston had a turnover, not even Washington. Fresno, the quote-unquote home team. Fresno and UK. There they are. So Kentucky just barely has an overall advantage. Interesting. There's the Washington field. For Fresno State, they have a receiver whose name is Kelly. He is their best player. For Kentucky, I was gonna say Louisville, that would be the very wrong team. For Kentucky, their center is their best player, with 2 defensive players in the second and third as their second and third best players. Looks like Fresno State kind of showed up in the stands. Yes, Fresno State showed up. They are much closer than Kentucky. Kentucky was kind of an odd team to make this regional. I just had to put them somewhere, and this was the best fit. Fresno with a 7-point lead. Now it is a 20-point lead. They missed an extra point. They scored a touchdown again, 27-14, 21-27, 6-point game. Oh, please, 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 controller, please come back. Come back. I need to see how this game ends. Who won? Fresno State won. The two group of 5 schools pulled it off. Because my controller disconnected, we will look more heavily at the stats. Because we couldn't quite see. Neither team had a turnover. Fresno State had more time of possession. Kentucky had a lot of passing yards, but very few rushing yards. Fresno had over 200 rushing yards. Almost as many passing yards. Many more first downs. Fresno State put up 20 points in the second quarter. That really pushed them past. Player of the game, Jordan Mims, the running back for Fresno. Chris Rodriguez, also a running back, but for Kentucky, is their offensive player of the game. Okay. So, Fresno moves on to play a group of 5 battle. And Kentucky, the 3 seed, plays the 1 seed in an elimination game. That will be the next game we will play. UW and Kentucky. Kentucky is the highest overall team in the regional with an 86. They are also the only SEC team. By rule, there can only be 1 team per conference in a regional. Gotta represent for the SEC. There are the best Washington players, all 87 overall.
Near the shores of Lake Washington, we're here.
This would be a really good out-of-conference game. I would watch this. Of course, I'd watch like any game. But this would specifically be a good game. Kentucky, first drive, touchdown. Washington scores. Kentucky scores a touchdown. Washington with a field goal here. Kentucky does score a touchdown. Washington scores a touchdown. Kentucky scores a touchdown. Washington scores a touchdown. Kentucky scores a touchdown. 24-31, tied game. 31 apiece. 38-38. Will we go? Yes, we will. We go to overtime. And it looks like the Wildcats pulled it off. Upset the 1 seed in overtime. 44-41 is the final here. So Kentucky moves on as the winner of game 4. Washington, the 2nd team in a row to be eliminated as a 1 seed. Interesting. Next game that we're going to have is Houston and Fresno State. I would watch this game as an out-of-conference. I think this would be a good game. Fresno, higher seed, gets the quote-unquote home field advantage. Where are my Cougs at? There they are. Both 84 overalls. Fresno's offense is a little better, but the Cougar defense is much better. Sorry, I just touched the microphone. That sounded weird. My apologies. Houston lost. Well, it was a lot. They lost a lot of players in the transfer portal. They got a couple good ones. Got an A&M linebacker who should be decent. That's the only one I can name off the top of my head. Can't even name him, but I know he went because, well, I don't know, and that's why. 14-0 Cougars here in the first quarter. 14-7, 21-7, 28-7. We would get a 4 seed upset, 35-7 here. 42-7. This is a blowout. 42-14. Fresno State's trying to come back. They score a lot in the fourth quarter, but it won't be enough. 42-28. How many turnovers did Fresno give up? None? They scored 35 points in the first half with no Fresno State turnovers. Wow, Clayton Tune, just a goat. Did he get drafted? I forgot. I think Jake Hayner did. Obviously, not great for Fresno. Not good for Fresno. Cougars moving on to the finals. This is how the previous bracket was lining up. We will see Fresno play Kentucky again, but this time in an elimination game. Fresno still home. Maybe going backward will be easier, faster. I'm rooting for Kentucky here. Go SEC.
And welcome to neutral site action, and we're just about ready for
Again,
kickoff.
a lot of Fresno fans and very few Kentucky fans have arrived in Seattle. It's a really easy airport to get into. It's a big hub. Fresno with a field goal to lead off the game. Both teams scored touchdowns. Kentucky scores another and another. 21-13 right now. Kentucky trying to get their revenge. 21-21. Fresno State came back. We were in the fourth quarter, 35-21. Fresno needs the onside. They got it. And they scored a last-minute touchdown to upset the Wildcats in their second game against them. 42-35. Nail-biter, buzzer beater for the 2 seed Fresno State to move on. 21 fourth quarter points. They've done that in back-to-back games. Both teams had 1 turnover. Almost 400 passing yards for Jake Hayner. 4 touchdowns, 50 rushing yards for him. Redeemed himself a little bit. Now we resume the Houston and Fresno State series. A Cougar win means that we do have a 4 seed that moves on to the Super Regionals. A Fresno State win means that both teams are 1-1, and we will play one final game as the finale. I did not expect the 4 seed to be playing in this final. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to leave this game. Hold up. I had to back out of the last one because I didn't change the field. Here are maybe one last look at the Fresno State best players. Their cornerbacks, both pretty good. One last look potentially at the Houston best players. Tank Dell, pretty good. Really hoping he does well with the Texans.
Just about set to kick off here, and it's not a home game for either of these teams.
Big game for both teams. Houston with a touchdown. Fresno with a tie. Houston with a touchdown. They miss an extra point. Fresno takes a lead because of that missed extra point. Here in the third quarter, it's an 8-point game. Now Fresno cracks it open a little bit. 31-13 in the fourth. Houston running out of time. They don't have enough time. Fresno State is making this a tough series. Fresno wins in the losers bracket, and Houston goes to the losers bracket. We will have this one final game in Seattle, pretty far from both teams. One last game for this bracket. This regional. Back-to-back regionals where one seeds have been upset and eliminated without making it in the making it after their first game in the losers bracket.
Neutral side action, and we're just about set to kick off.
Cougars getting the ball after halftime. Fresno scores a field goal. Houston responds with a touchdown. Fresno field goal. Houston scoring a good bit here. 26-13. Houston doubling them up. 33-13. Cougars fighting back. 47-13 in the fourth quarter. 27 points away. There we go. Houston, my Cougars. You all saw me. This is in one take. I didn't change any stats or anything. The Houston Cougars are the first 4 seed to move on. First of maybe many who will move on. Fresno had 2 turnovers that really contributed to this loss. So the Cougars fought their way out of only one loser's bracket game for the victory. Congratulations to both teams for making it so far. Houston will play Oregon in a super regional. That is a best of 3 series. Winner goes to Omaha. It'll be a while before we get to that. So until the next video will be the Tuscaloosa regional. Alabama, Baylor, Troy, and Wake Forest. That will be, if today is Sunday, I'm still recording this on Friday. That'll be Monday, probably. Because we are doing, double upload weekends. Ugh. Excuse me, sorry. Anyway. Until the next one, peace.